The NFL trade deadline is just a little bit over 24 hours away. And could the Ravens be making some moves to shore this team up for a Super Bowl run? That's what we're going to talk about today. Thanks so much for being in here. This is Ravens Rundown. I'm your host, Joey Petersen. Can't wait to get into this. Trade deadline is going to be an exciting time. We'll be here all day tomorrow covering it for you. And so if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button. We're at 21,855 total subs on the channel. We've added over 4,000 subs just this football season alone. We're 145 subs away from getting to 22,000. So do it for Derrick Henry. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that sub button. We go live for every single game. We're here every single day making a video. There's no better place to be. I can promise you that. All right, let's go ahead and set the scene for you. This is what it's going to look like, okay? Right now, the Baltimore Ravens are sitting with $3.17 million in cap space. But the good asset that they do have, because the money that they have left, not that much, but one thing that is very nice going into this trade deadline, they still are sitting on 11 draft picks in the 2025 NFL draft. Now, a lot of those are late picks in the rounds, and a lot of those are in late rounds, but still, those are assets nonetheless. I'm going to talk about the cap space just for a little bit. You know, that is a low number. It's one of the lowest in the NFL. But, man, contracts can be restructured and redone, and it's just so quick. This number can change so easily just by a 20-minute meeting with Eric DeCosta, with the front office, with John Harbaugh. And so, yes, that's a small number. Not as small as you'd think it is given what they can do to make that change, okay? So let's go ahead and talk about the two targets that they might be targeting to, get this roster a little bit better, namely this defense a little bit better. And the first question I got to ask you guys when we talk about this first trade target is, are you guys ready for a possible reunion in Baltimore? Because the first trade target we're talking about is our main man, Jadeveon Clowney, okay? Could Baltimore be adding him as another pass rusher to this team that has kind of struggled with pressuring the quarterback? Notice I didn't say they've struggled sacking the quarterback. They've struggled pressuring the quarterback. Kristopher Knox had this to say on the addition of Jadeveon Clowney. Adding a cornerback should be the Ravens' top priority, though finding a high-end starter would be extremely difficult. Baltimore could aid its secondary, however, by adding to its pass rush. Clowney is believed to prefer an exit, and given the opportunity to stockpile picks for their talent-depleted roster, the Panthers will probably oblige. And guys, it's obvious that this pass rush is still lacking, okay? And I know what you're saying right now. You're sitting over there and you're thinking, Joey, you sacked Bo Nix 4 times yesterday. You got a lot of sacks this season. Well, that's not enough, okay? We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. But I got to ask you guys this question real quick before we do. Do you think the Ravens need to add a pass rusher? Or do you think they just need to add someone in the secondary, okay? This is going to be the pinned comment on today's YouTube video. YouTube's about to throw you an ad break, and when they do, go ahead, scroll down the comment section, find this for me, and type Y for yes, or type in for no. So let's talk about yesterday, okay? Because Bo Nix, he had his fair share of dropbacks, 41. Yet he was only pressured on 14 of those. Now, there were 4 sacks, and that's a great number, but I want to look at the 14 pressures to the 41 dropbacks. Because frankly, guys, that's not good enough. And it's not like he's not getting pressured. He's sitting there in the pocket for hours on end, it feels like. And did you know, throwing a little chat stats at you guys, Bo Nix had 3.52 seconds per drop back. That is the 4th highest for a quarterback in the 2024 NFL season for a game. That is the 2nd highest in Week 9. Only C.J. Stroud had a little bit more time to throw. I think he was 3.62 against New York. But he had 3.52 seconds to throw. And guys, just like the more I think about it, the more I've just come to the realization, this is just like the weirdest pass rush in the National Football League. Because again, they're getting to the quarterback. They have 28 sacks on the season. That's 5th in the NFL. They are top 5 in the National Football League at bringing the quarterback to the ground. But yet, if you look at their quarterback pressure rate, it's only 30.3. That's 26th in the NFL. If you look at the time that quarterbacks are getting to throw against the Ravens, 2.86 seconds. That's 23rd in the NFL. So it speaks to these guys that when they do pressure, they're able to get them down, but they're just not pressuring enough. They're not pressuring a lot. And if you look at what Jadeveon Clowney did last year in Baltimore, I don't know how you wouldn't want to bring him back into this lineup. 43 tackles, 9 tackles for loss. He had 9.5 sacks. That was a career high for him. Also 19 quarterback hits. Also a career high for him. And he hasn't really taken a step back this year, okay? If you look at some of the statistics that we've been looking at so far in terms of pressure rate and time to throw, however, it's just time to pressure if you're a defensive player, his pressure rate's 11.5%. That would be first on the Baltimore Ravens, okay? His time to pressure is 2.76. That's how long, on average, it's taking him to get the quarterback under pressure. That would also be first in Baltimore. So if you add a guy like Jadeveon Clowney to this roster, this pass rush could become a whole lot better. And I get it. Mike McDonald isn't there anymore. You lost a lot of defensive coaches over the offseason. But I still believe in the ability, okay? You don't just go from having 9.5 sacks one year to just falling off a cliff and having like 2 sacks the next year, okay? So will he make all the difference? I don't know about that. But will he make a difference? I really do think so. And I think he's worth going and get again, okay? So you guys let me know in the comment section, how bad do you want a Jadeveon Clowney reunion in Baltimore? If you want it more than anything, give me a 10. If you're like, don't really care, give me 1 in the comment section down below. Coming up, we got one more trade target to look at and how he might fit with this Baltimore Ravens defense and how they need to improve throughout the rest of this year. But before, I got to give a big shout out to the sponsor of today's video, and that is our friends over at Game Time. Guys, the bank was rocking yesterday in that 41-10 domination over the Denver Broncos. And if you want to be there this Thursday for some Thursday night football against Cincinnati, then I suggest you use our friends over at Game Time to get your tickets. It's the only place I go when I'm trying to get tickets to any college football or NFL game. It has a new feature called Game Time Picks, and that makes getting tickets to your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only incredible deals on great seats so that you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. And guys, there's nothing in the entire world like a night game at M&T Bank Stadium. The opening lineups, the fire, the smoke, just the whole pageantry of it all is something truly special. And if you've never been there before to witness it, then I got to tell you, you've got to go on Thursday as they take off their AFC North rival, Cincinnati Bengals. And if you do want to go, I think you should head over to Game Time to get your tickets. You see all the prices listed, you click into the game, go to Game Time Picks, pick your favorite seat, and boom, you're checking out immediately. So take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. All right, let's talk about the second trade target I got the Baltimore Ravens possibly looking at is cornerback DJ Reid, okay? This was talked about in a Sporting News article. I'll read you the quote in just a little bit. But I got to talk about something, okay? Because I know you saw the stat line at the end of the day, and I know you saw the score at the end of the day, and you probably thought to yourself, you know what? This pass defense was much better. And you're not wrong. They were much improved. But guys, if Bo Nix makes just a few more throws, this is a totally different game than it actually was, okay? We're going to start with this one. This one is right at the beginning of the second quarter. You only got a 10-point lead at this point. Bo Nix throws the ball, and look how far ahead. This is on 4th down, by the way, 4th and 7. Look how far ahead their wide receiver is in front of Arthur Mollett on the 12-yard line, okay? And if you go to this next picture of it from the end zone view, that's where the ball lands, just out ahead of him. But he's got 3 yards of space on Mollett, okay? So that's a touchdown. Bo Nix just missed it. Let's talk about another Bo Nix missed touchdown, okay? Because this is on 4th and goal. And again, great 4th down stops. Absolutely love it. And I got to talk about the pressure here because that helps force this incompletion. But look at their wide receiver circled in red right there. Middle of the end zone. Absolutely naked. And look who's close to him. Arthur Mollett. And what does Bo Nix do? He rushes the pass, throws a bad ball, and overthrows him if we go to this next picture, okay? He's there in the back of the end zone. There's not a Baltimore Raven 5 yards from him, okay? So that's 2 missed touchdowns by Bo Nix. Again, both of those are in the first half. Now, this one is late in the game. This is fourth quarter. You're up 41-10 at this point, but still, another missed touchdown. Middle of the end zone. You got 2 guys on him. One of them is Arthur Mollett. And they're still 2 or 3 yards behind. I believe that's Cortland Sutton. Bo Nix hasn't even thrown the ball yet. He eventually does throw it. And guess what? This shouldn't be a surprise at this point. It is another overthrow by Bo Nix, your guy truly. So that is 3 missed touchdown passes by Bo Nix that if he makes even one of those throws, like this is a totally different ball game, okay? And so that's why I think maybe bringing DJ Reid could shore some things up for Baltimore, okay? And so we're going to look at this quote, again from Sporting News, from Andrew Persad. He had this to say. He said, "This would be wild," and yes, it would, "but the Ravens should at least make the call for the Jets' best corner this season. Yes, including Sauce Gardner. Reid is a pending free agent set to break the bank, so Baltimore can get ahead of that." And guys, I just don't think you can expect to make this pass rush this pass defense that much better just by adding an edge. I think that will help, but I don't think it'll do these magical wonders and all of a sudden you're going to be a top 15 passing defense in the NFL. I think you need some help in the secondary. You need some help at corner or at safety, okay? Because Bo Nix, he was, like we said, not great, okay? 57.6% completion percentage, 223 yards, and a touchdown. But like we saw in those pictures, it wasn't necessarily anything that the Ravens were doing. He was just kind of missing throws. Now, kudos to them. They picked him off early. When they got their hands on the ball, they were able to take it away. But still, we saw there 3 massive throws that he missed that could have been touchdowns. And you still look at the numbers. Even with causing a 56.7% completion percentage and only 223 yards, they're still not great, guys. 32nd still in yards per game, 27th in yards per pass, 30th in pass percentage let up, 30th in yards after catch, 26th in yards after catch over expected. So there's still a lot of room to work, and that's where I think DJ Reid could come in perfectly with this team. I think this would be a massive move, okay? It would be a splash, an absolute splash. This isn't just a run-of-the-mill guy. He's been targeted 25 times this year, 10 catches, and yes, that's a seatbelt emoji, 0 touchdowns let up. Okay, he's been an absolute dog. And the only reason I think this might make sense is because, yes, the Jets just won on Thursday Night Football, but they still suck. I think that whole experiment might be over, okay? So like I've said it 1,000 times, Baltimore is in their Super Bowl window right now. And this defense, flat out, plain and simple, is not good enough to win one. They're 21st right now in the NFL. And if we look at the last 24 Super Bowl champions, so every Super Bowl winner since 2000, 12 of them have had a defense ending the season ranked in the top 5. 5 of them have had a defense ending the season ranked from the 6 through 10 mark. 2 of them from 11 to 15, 2 of them from 16 to 20, and only 3 Super Bowl winners of the last 24 have had a defense rank from 21st to 25th. And that's where you're sitting at right now. So you're not playing the odds very well. So if I'm Eric DeCosta, if I'm John Harbaugh, if I'm anybody that's over there in Baltimore, Maryland right now, and I'm looking at the trade deadline in 24 hours from now, I'm saying, guys, it's our time. This is our chance. Let's go freaking do something. Let's make a splash, okay? So if they were going to make a splash and bring back either one of these guys, which one would you want it to be? Would you want it to be Jadeveon Clowney? Would you want it to be DJ Reid? You guys let me know in the comment section down below by giving me a JC or DJ. Again, guys, we are absolutely crushing it this season, and thanks to every single one of you guys. 145 subs away from 22,000, a massive milestone here. So if you're still here, obviously you like the video, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.